Good evening and welcome to our special wrap of the Auto Expo's first day here at Greater Noida's India Expo Mart. The big news is of course around all the big unveils and the product launches that we've seen. Some that were expected to happen, some that were surprises, and some twists and turns with announcements from all the players. This is of course part of our comprehensive coverage of the Auto Expo that we're going to bring you right through this week on the NDTV network and on our website carandbike.com. Let's get started with the way the day started for us. The very first press conference and the first unveil came from the market leader Maruti Suzuki with the new Vitara Brezza. This is the sub 4 meter subcompact SUV that Maruti was expected to have actually launched into the market at the Expo, but it was just an unveil. We actually have the market launch coming up only in March. That's when we'll have prices. For now, the car comes in with a 1.3 litre diesel engine, but Maruti says that a petrol and even an automatic will follow later. It's the new Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza, certainly one of the most hot and anticipated products at the Auto Expo this year, and is offered in a whole lot of colors, lots of customization options, all that very new for Maruti. It will be sold through the entire dealer network, so it's not Nexa only like the Baleno or the S-Cross, and smartly done design, because when you look at the car, it doesn't look like a sub 4 meter product. It looks nice and ample, has all the SUV proportions you can think of, and also has 198 millimeter ground clearance, a 2500 millimeter wheelbase, which means pretty decent on cabin size as well. And then come around to the back and you will get to see that the styling here has been done almost in keeping with the Vitara family. So again, a nice hark back to the SUV, typical SUV styling that you see from Suzuki worldwide. The Vitara Brezza also has a reasonable boot, 328 liters, and that's going to be again a bit of a USP, because take a look at that. It's nice and ample, and I think a lot of buyers will like that. Pricing, well, we'll only know all that possibly sometime in March, the second half of March, because that's when the car will make its market debut. We'll only have the diesel at the start, like I said, and you will have a petrol and an automatic that comes later on in the year. The customization options, you can see the contrast two-tone roof on this one. There's also going to be stickers and decals and lots of options, all very new territory for Maruti Suzuki for sure. When it comes to the kind of volume potential you see, I'm not going to ask you how many are you going to sell every month, but because I'm sure you'll sell a lot.
I want to know.
but you do, obviously, you do see a lot.
Expectation there. At least as far we preparing a new model, we expect over the 5,000 per month. But I expecting this model for the more bigger number.
More than 5,000.
Yeah.
Maruti Suzuki is looking to enter a new segment there with the Vitara Brezza, and it's a new segment that Honda Motorcycle and Scooter India wants to create with its new product called the Navi. Navi, of course, is Hindi for new, and that's exactly what Honda is going after with this. Well, you want to call it a mini motorcycle or a new kind of bike. It's based on the Activa. It also shares the engine with the Activa, and which is why Honda believes that it will attract a whole wide variety of buyers. There are two reasons for it. One is the versatility. It says the product has on board, and which is why you'll have male and female buyers. And the second is the price tag. 39,500 rupees is fairly attractive. There are three versions of the Navi, if you will: the street, the adventure, and the off-road version, which means there's plenty of customization possible as well. Honda's rival TVS is also very active here at the Expo. Three new exciting concepts being shown by the two-wheeler maker. The N-Torque 210 is a 210cc touring scooter, so a nice big scooter and an ample engine there as well. We hope this makes it to production, though no commitment on that from TVS. The company recently launched the Apache 200 RTR 4V, and now we're getting to see its racing version as a concept called the X21. Again, there isn't a launch plan that TVS wants to announce on this. And then finally, the one that we've all been waiting for, more details emerging now on what will eventually end up being the BMW G310R. That's, remember, part of the partnership that TVS has with BMW, the shared platform bike, being shown here as a concept, the TVS Akula 310 race spec. It has a carbon fiber frame, but it's the naked version that will, of course, launch as that BMW production model.
All eyes are on the BMW, the bike that you're developing. This is the platform that you're building it on. Take us through in terms of what else can we expect and when can we expect that?
Short to the presentation, I mean, when close to the launch, I'll announce much more about that product. But at this point of time, please enjoy this concept. They are great.
A huge pavilion from the country's second largest car maker, Hyundai. We've had, of course, the market debut now of the Tucson SUV. It's a full-size SUV that will take on the Toyota Fortuner and the Ford Endeavour when it launches. Hyundai, of course, seeing a big gap for SUVs in its current portfolio. Between the Creta and the Santa Fe is where the Tucson will fit in, and you'll have several variants of that. And then following that, next year we'll probably get to see a production version of its concept car, which is currently just being termed the HND 14. It is a car that will take on the Ford EcoSport, the new Tata Nexon, and the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza.
Today we also unveiled the performance premium SUV, the Hyundai Tucson, which is the global product of ours, and we are fortunate to bring this product, right, and happy to bring this product to Indian market.
A lot of people are asking about it, I know, and there
Yes.
was already a knowledge that it's coming, and now that it's been unveiled here, you'll be inundated with when are you launching it questions. I mean, not just from us, but even from potential customers.
Yes, there has been an increased inquiry levels, right, at our dealerships, right, and also from the media friends, from the public at large, right, in terms of our websites, hits coming in terms of feedbacks, asking for the product.
So
and
when you
yes,
say this year, sooner or later, that's basically
this will
where
be
I'm
this
going.
year. I think surprise is part of Hyundai's DNA, right? Right.
Yes.
Nowhere in the media or anywhere there was a speculation or there was information that Hyundai would be bringing in another SUV, right? And that to Hyundai Tucson between the Creta as well as the Santa Fe. But we surprised the market. I think flexibility, right? Strong innovation is our DNA, and that's what exactly we would like to. Yes, what we have also observed is that below Creta, right, there is also a white space for an SUV, but that market is yet to mature in terms of volumes. What we believe is that market would mature in couple of years. So for that, we have already brought in a concept car, HND 14, which is going to be the entry SUV or the small SUV. That will then fulfill the entire product range
So that
or
you'll
the
have
product
something,
requirement.
yeah.
So we will have what we call exactly as 4 SUVs, entry or small SUV, the HND 14, which is at the concept stage right now, followed by the Creta, then the Tucson, and then the Santa Fe. So 4 SUVs for the Indian market, in addition to the compact and the sedan products that we have, so that we can continue to sustain our leadership position by growing in the marketplace.
Now, besides all these fancy cars and bikes, we also get the chance to meet some interesting people always at the Auto Expo, and a whole lot of celebrities do drop in. We've had a few celebrity sightings today and managed to also get some FaceTime with Ranbir Kapoor when we had a Google Hangout with him. Right after that, I had the chance to speak with him, so here's a little excerpt of that chat. Take a look at that, take a short break and join us right after. Auto Expo time in Delhi, and it's also a time when we get to hang out with Ranbir Kapoor. Ranbir, thanks for speaking to us, and good to have you here at the Expo again. Nice to be back.
Absolutely, Sid. It's a wonderful platform, where companies from all over the world showcase their products, push the boundaries of innovation, see competition. Of course, this is my second year with Hero. Like I mentioned to you, it's like the Cannes Film Festival for a movie, especially for automobiles and motorcycles. So really glad and happy and proud to be here.
The kind of buzz around the brand that we've seen of late. We've done a Google Hangout now. Is it nice to be sort of part of that? You kind of catch that wave as well.
Absolutely, and I think we also did a really interesting innovation a couple of months back, me and all the bikes. So I think Hero always does that. It's not just about signing me as a brand ambassador and let's just shoot an ad film. It's all about really understanding what the company believes in, how they're doing it, especially the eco-friendly manner that they go about it, the new products. So yeah, and I think it's a great fit. It's something that I kind of can borrow and live my life by, their ideologies. So it's really cool.
One thing that caught a lot of people's attention, you work with all the brands, it always gets attention, but with some of the campaigns you've done with both Hero and even with Renault now, the Rahman song in that particular ad has really caught on. Is it nice to be recognized for that too?
Absolutely, to be honest, Sid, people know me more by my brand endorsements than my movies, because when they watch television, it reaches such a large demographic of people. But when you see a movie, it's only a particular kind of crowd goes and sees that film. But I remember, especially my first 3 years, people knew me as this Pepsi role, model more than my 2 films that I had done in my career. So yes, certain brands like Hero, Pepsi, Renault, they have such a large reach. So it really reaches you out to more people than even a movie.
Okay, quick word on your upcoming movies.
Well, I have Jagga Jasoos, which is going on since so many years. You keep asking me that, I keep saying the same thing. But it should be out in this summer. Yes, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really exciting adventure film. I have Karan Johar's Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, which should be out in Diwali, and I have Ayan Mukherjee's superhero film and Raju Irani's biopic, Sanjay Dutt biopic.
Busy year.
Hopefully,
Like
would like it to be busy. Like we mentioned earlier. Hoping that a lot of inspiration, happiness, and lots of work. That's what really keeps us happy is when we're working. So I hope I can spend a lot of my year on set, working on good projects with a lot of inspiration and a lot of happiness and peace of mind.
Inspiration, happiness, peace of mind. Wish you all of that in truckloads.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Tata Motors, which had a lot of anticipation around its stand as well, because things we saw as concepts the last expo were expected to come in as production vehicles, and we have seen that. The Nexon, and also a concept shown at the Geneva Motor Show in 2015, the Hexa, both breaking cover here at the Auto Expo. The Hexa is a product that will take on the Mahindra XUV in the full-size SUV space. We're expecting competitive pricing from Tata Motors when it does launch later in the year, and similar sort of a strategy in terms of being competitive with the Nexon, which is the small subcompact SUV, looking very stylish, getting a lot of attention for its looks, and Tata Motors will be banking heavily on both these cars. Besides that, Tata will of course bank on the Zika, but you can't really call it that anymore, can you? The Zika will be renamed. This is a car we've already showed you here on the NDTV network. We've already reviewed it as well. The market launch was expected later in February. It has now been pushed to either the last week of March or the beginning of April, because Tata Motors needs to rebrand the car. It was too early or too soon for Tata to bring that new brand to the Auto Expo. So the car that's here on the stand at Tata still carries the Zika name. The reason, of course, is because of the Zika virus, which has taken control of Central America. Tata didn't want some of that negative publicity around that deadly virus to affect the prospects of this new car, and which is where that rebranding will now take place. Back to some two-wheeled action, and we had a new version of the Ray Z from Yamaha. It's a new 110cc scooter, the variant being called the Cygnus Ray Z, even more so targeted now at the male buyer. Besides that, you had another new scooter from Suzuki as well. This is the new generation of the popular Access with the 125cc engine. It is an updated engine, and of course you have different new looks as well coming in with that new scooter. Hero, for its part, showed off an electric scooter concept called the Duet E, but Hero also had 3 other concepts that caught our eye. The Splendor iSmart 110, which is the new version of the Splendor iSmart with a torque on demand engine. The Extreme 200S, which is the naked sports bike that is showing a bit of a new design direction from Hero perhaps, but the one that really does show that in ample terms is the XF3R, the Street Fighter design concept that looks very well finished, has some great proportions, and we certainly hope to see something like that coming from Hero. Meanwhile, Volkswagen already began with a new car coming on the eve of the expo. That was yesterday with the Amio subcompact sub 4 meter car, which is based on the Vento. But today it was the turn to for us to get to see the Tiguan. That's the premium SUV that will drive in to take on the likes of the Fortuner, and it will only happen in the second half of this year, perhaps closer to the end of the year, says Volkswagen. The Tiguan certainly looking very formidable, and there will be a 7-seater version that you can expect here in India. But besides that, remember Volkswagen having to battle some of the perception issues ever since the diesel emissions scandal broke in the United States. The management here talking about how it's dealing with that.
Your brand also has taken a hit because of the overall diesel engine scandal that happened in Europe. Take us through how you're convincing customers here in India that all is okay.
Yeah, well, generally we had a period of uncertainty in India in the last year where we needed to clarify with the authorities in collaboration where do we stand, and finally we are at that clean position that says we are fully compliant with the Indian emission regulations. That's where we start from with. However, it's very clear. I mean, we as a German brand, people would not have expected things that had impacted the US or Europe would have happened. So what we do is, and we declared that very early, to voluntarily recall all our diesel cars and upgrade them in the same way as we do that in Germany. And this will happen starting middle of half year one, and we'll go through a staggered way and reach all the 200,000 Volkswagen customers. This is one opportunity to get in touch with them, upgrade their vehicle, mostly it's a software upgrade, and then get them on the same basis as anybody else in Europe. This is how I think we can win back the trust and gain again what we had lost potentially.
Sure.
It's always nice when the Auto Expo has a new brand entry. We had a few of those last time around, and this time it is the turn of the Jeep brand, one we've been waiting for several years now. Finally, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles bringing in its Jeep brand. There will be two vehicles launched in the coming months. That's the Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee, both flagship products for Jeep worldwide. But the bigger news from Jeep is the fact that after they've established the brand here in India, and you've seen these two vehicles being on sale for a few months, in early 2017 we'll get the locally made compact SUV. That's going to be the big volumes product for Jeep to really establish itself here in India. It's wonderful to have the brand in. We've been talking about it for some time. I know there have been some delays, but it's good to sort of break into the Indian market now.
Yes, very important for us, and great timing. The Jeep brand just finished its best year ever on 1.2 million units here around the globe in 2015. We're kicked off our 75th anniversary, and now we're here in India announcing our arrival to this market. So a lot of significant milestones in the last few days for Jeep, and it's important for us to be here because there's lots of growth opportunity and lots of customers that they're looking forward to us to be here. So it's good to finally be here in India.
General Motors also trying to come out of the situation it finds itself in, wants bigger volumes in India in the long term, has said that the Spin MPV will only arrive in 2017, but along with it there will be another new car that was shown here for the first time, the Essentia, which is a beat-based subcompact sub 4-meter sedan. It is a car that will take on some mighty rivals like the Honda Amaze, the Maruti Suzuki Swift Desire, and no doubt the Hyundai Accent as well. The Essentia will also launch only in the first half of 2017 though, says GM. Honda, in the meanwhile, has been showing off its entire portfolio of products here, but also launching the BRV. This is again an unveil and not a market launch. The car will arrive only in a few days from now.
So joining us here at the studio from the Auto Expo is Gyaneshwar Sen, Senior Vice President Sales and Marketing at Honda Cars. First of all, thank you so much for joining us here at the studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
Great BRV unveil that you guys happened. It's only the unveil.
That's right.
When do we see the product, and what kind of positioning are you looking at for the BRV, given the kind of excitement that segment offers?
The unveiling happened today, as you saw, and we expect to launch it sometime in summer this year. As far as the vehicle is concerned, it's a crossover utility vehicle, and we are very confident that it will offer new value to our customers. As you saw, it's a pretty bold and exciting looking vehicle from the outside.
Sure.
It's got very premium interiors. At the same time, it's got a lot of utility and versatility. It's got 3 rows of seats, and so it's a real all-rounder, I would say.
Sure.
And that's how I guess our customers would also look at it.
And yes, the Auto Expo is always known for its fair share of celebrities. We've had some of the Bollywood starlets here earlier this morning. You have already had a chance to see my chat with Ranbir Kapoor, but the one I've saved up for the end is the one that was always exciting. The special conversation with none other than Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. One of the most high-profile visitors here at the Expo, you can see who's getting a lot of attention already because some people now know he's here at the BMW stand, is Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on the show again after a bit of a gap, but it's been, I know that there's been a lot that's been keeping you busy, but that's how you like it.
Yeah, life is good. I cannot complain after retirement. I thought life gets easier, but no, it's the other way around. A lot of traveling.
Is it because the regimen is gone, or which part of it is, let's say, the tougher part?
Tougher part is to travel and do the things which I'm still learning, still figuring out a lot of things. But cricket was something where I knew how to prepare myself, and I was passionate about everything I did. There are a few things which I'm not passionate, but I'm still figuring out how to do those things.
It's a good segue into something I wanted to, in fact, I've been meaning to ask you, that it's also given you the time to focus on, I won't say the word causes necessarily, but to focus your energies on doing things outside of what you know as normal. Has that been rewarding for you? I mean, just
it has been. In fact, certain causes that I've been associated with, extremely satisfying. It's all about how you feel in the evening when you go back to your room and you put your head down on the pillow, what you feel. And there have been a number of occasions where I felt, wow, I've done something really special.
So that's it. It's the end of day one of the Auto Expo, the first press day with all those big launches coming to an end. We've shown you the big highlights on today's program. I hope you've enjoyed all of that. Remember that you can get much more information on all of what you've seen and then some on our website, caranbike.com/auto-expo. That's where you need to go. You could just go to caranbike.com and find that homepage as well. And remember that we'll be continuing to bring you tomorrow's big announcements as well. We'll have another wrap show for you at the same time right here on the NDTV network. Definitely join us for that. Stay with us right through the day as well, because we'll be giving you all those announcements on social media and of course on our news channels, NDTV 24/7 and NDTV Prime. Thanks again, and as always, wear your seatbelts.